Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the channel and another video. There's 5 games to get through. Let's try and get through them as quick as we can. Intro, and then we'll get right into it. Yes, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel and another video. So, like I mentioned, 5 games since I've last done a video. I'm here by myself. Now, I know these aren't normally the best videos, the ones that I do by myself. It's much better when we've got other people to bounce off and chat with. However, I didn't want to invite anybody on to do 5 games. That's just ridiculous. So I thought, you know what? I've got my notes. I've done podcasts elsewhere about these, but I thought let's talk about it a bit more on my own channel. You know, give a bit more than what I gave on the others as well. Just a few more of my own thoughts and pennies worth about these games. But yeah, great to be back here with you all. And like I said at the start, Happy New Year to you all. Hope everything went well with your Christmas holidays and your New Year's and everything. So let's get right into it. So the first game obviously was Arsenal-Everton, 0-0, very dull and drab affair. The team was changed, you know, lineup-wise. Skelly was kept at left-back, which I was happy with. It was the Rice, Moreno and Odegaard midfield, which was predicted on the Purely Arsenal podcast by Jack and Neil a few podcasts back. They said that with Thomas Partey not renewing his contract, we're probably going to see more of Rice, Odegaard and Moreno now. We got it here. And this game for Arsenal, obviously, 76% of the possession and a total of 13 shots, but we still couldn't find a winner in this game. Obviously, Everton, they should have scored early through Decore, but it was a magnificent block from Gabriel to deny him. Then Odegaard, he fizzed a shot wide. Saka did some great footwork, played Martin Odegaard in, but then his shot was deflected and saved. And Martinelli, also in that first half, had one saved also. Second half, Bukayo Saka hit a volley that was saved by Pickford. And we had a penalty shout late on with Thomas Partey. But for me, I thought Mykolenko got enough of the ball. And it was a frustrating game for Arsenal. And it didn't help when, obviously, Liverpool dropped the points earlier in the day against Fulham. That's when you really want to be taking the 3 points, especially when your rivals in title races drop them. But for that game, obviously, as per always, I pick a man of the match. And that game for me, the man of the match was none other than Bukayo Saka. I thought he was our best player against Everton. He had our best sort of creative spark with that run in the first half that he played Odegaard in. And then in the second half, he was the one who had the volley that was saved. That was our best chance in that game. Moving on, we've got Arsenal versus Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup now. And Arsenal, obviously, made some changes for this one in the Carabao Cup. Thomas Partey, he come back in, but it was at right back. Jurriën Timber moved to centre-back along with Kivior. And Kieran Tierney made his first return to an Arsenal team since the 2023 Community Shield versus Manchester City. And then you had Jorginho in the middle with Nwaneri and Marino. And Jesus up top with Sterling and Leandro Trossard. And it was funny to me because Gabriel Jesus is still classed as the vice-captain of Arsenal Football Club, yet Jorginho in this game was the captain. It's never been announced that Gabriel Jesus is no longer the vice, and now Jorginho is the vice. This has never been announced. The captaincy thing at Arsenal, the last few years I've been really happy with Odegaard. I think Odegaard's a brilliant captain, but it just feels like we're going back to the days where the captaincy was just passed around like, you know, a pass the parcel at a kid's party. For me, it should have some stature and some importance. So if Gabriel Jesus has been stripped of the vice captaincy, then something from the club needs to come out and say so, and say that Jorginho is now the vice captain, because I feel like Jorginho probably is the vice in the eyes of the players and everything as well. But it would be nice to have that communicated. But anyway, I was at this game. I want to say thank you to Jamie for the ticket. And boy, did this game not start well. Dean Henderson for Crystal Palace, he hits a long field ball into Mateta, and Jakub Kivior completely misjudges it and allows the ball to bounce over him. And then Mateta is through, and Kivior isn't strong enough to challenge for it. And Mateta just slots it in for an easy 1-0. And madness ensued around where me and Jamie were sitting. Uh, we we turned around and there were two guys that were behind us, literally nose to nose, screaming in each other's face. Because one was pro Arteta and obviously pro Jakub Kivior and him playing, and another was saying that Arteta should be sacked for losing this game and for picking Kivior over and over again when he's not good enough. And funnily enough, at the end of this match, me and Jamie didn't see or hear this guy. This guy left way before full time to go somewhere else. So yeah, I think he got made to look very, very silly. And another thing I will say, Jakub Kivior after that early mistake didn't put a foot wrong. He had a really, really good game after that mistake. But yeah, the best chance of the first half was Raheem Sterling with a free kick that was tipped over. That was our best chance of the first half. And then the second half, obviously changes come. Saliba come on for Thomas Partey, who had a horrible, horrible game at right back there against Crystal Palace. He was not good at all. Odegaard, he didn't come on for Nwaneri, who at the time I thought was hard done by. I was really a bit confused by the Nwaneri substitution, but Odegaard come on at half time and completely changed the game in Arsenal's favour. So, hindsight's a wonderful thing. He did the job there. Sterling, he rattled the bar after his rebound was saved, and it was a beautiful cross from Kieran Tierney into him. Jesus, he finally tucked away the equaliser. It was a lovely run, and then he lobbed the keeper after Odegaard put a great ball in. Jesus is second. Obviously, no VAR. He was clearly offside, but it counts, and it's another amazing finish from him. And the third and the hat trick, we break away quite fast. There's not enough Palace players there to defend it, and he slotted it in home. And then to make it a very nervous ending, Eddie Nketiah scored a fantastic header to make the game 3-2. And for that one, the man of the match for me, I obviously gave it to Gabriel Jesus. Going on to the next game, which was Palace in the league. And Arsenal, we made changes again to the lineup for this one. Havertz was put into the midfield, and with Jesus getting a hat trick in midweek, he had to play up front. It would have been really unjust to drop him, and it was a great result for Arsenal in this game. But the game was tinged with a real sad moment. Obviously, Bukayo Saka getting injured, and that was his 250th game for Arsenal since 2019, and he's had 52 goals and 44 assists. He's such a key component of this Arsenal side, and he's obviously gone now, and he's had the surgery, and there's reports of him coming back before the end of the season. I don't think he's going to play again this season, Bukayo Saka. I really don't, and it's such a shame because he is a vital component to this side and everything that we're trying to do. But yeah, Gabriel Jesus, he scores early after Bukayo Saka has a deflected cross into his path, and it was a lovely finish. It was great work from Gabriel in defence as well to hold off the Crystal Palace player from shutting Gabriel Jesus down. It was really, really nice play from him to allow Jesus to have time and the space to pick out his goal. Ismail Assar, he then equalised for Palace, and it was a really nice finish, but it's another preventable goal conceded by Arsenal, in my opinion. Thomas Partey, Saliba and Gabriel, they just allow him to run through and slot it in. There was no pressure at all from any of them to prevent Sarr from running and scoring that goal. Arsenal second, again, it comes from Gabriel Jesus, and it's a lovely finish from a second phase of a set piece. Thomas Partey, he lays it down, and Gabriel Jesus hits a lovely finish. It's a really, really nice goal, the second one there. Mateta, he nearly scored from a William Saliba mistake, but David Raya and Saliba then make up for it. And Gabriel, he hit the bar from a corner. And then Kai Havertz, he scored Arsenal's third goal. It was a lovely cross from Gabriel Martinelli into Gabriel Jesus, who tries to head it to get his hat trick, but it clips off the post. But Kai Havertz, he's reading it. He's thinking like a 9. He's been playing as a 9, but obviously he's in midfield, but he's thinking like a 9. He sees it, taps it in for 3-1. Second half, David Raya made a great save from Sarr, and then Martinelli gets the third for Arsenal, and it was a big goal for him. It's a lovely ball into Jesus from Trossard, and Jesus should really be scoring it himself, but it comes back out to Declan Rice, who hits a shot into Martinelli's path, and it's turned in for 4-1. And then Declan Rice made it 5-1 with a beautiful curling finish after Calafiori laid him up. So, yeah, for the two, obviously, Crystal Palace games, got to give the man of the match to Gabriel Jesus. He's rejuvenated. He's reborn. You know, it was only a few weeks back. I had Mike and Neil on here, and we were talking about Gabriel Jesus. And I said that I feel he's really going to struggle to get back into this team and to give this team something because just he looked lost. He looked like completely bereft of all confidence and self belief. But these last few weeks, he's really applied himself well. He's scoring goals again. He's confident and he's thinking like a striker, which is all any Arsenal fans ever wanted, really. You know, he does have a tendency to drop deep or to, veer off into the wings, and then he neglects the central position when we need it the most. But now he's always in that box. He's always thinking, and yeah, I really, really like the improvement from him. Obviously, after that game, Ipswich at home, and Arsenal's first foray into life without Bukayo Saka, who under Arteta he's played the most, he's scored the most, and he's assisted the most. And the lineup was what I expected. No changes, and I was glad again. Lewis Skelly stayed in for this game, as well as Rice getting recalled after his goal versus Palace, and Gabriel Jesus continuing to lead the line in his good form. And Arsenal dominated this game again, but we come up against a very, very resolute and strong Ipswich playing a five at the back system that they haven't deployed all season. And again, Arsenal did have some issues of trying to break down the block. And Ipswich, they went close very early on, but Smodics couldn't latch onto the cross. And Havertz, he then made it 1-0 to Arsenal after a lovely ball in again from Leandro Trossard. And Rice, he had a pop from long range and it flew over the bar. Gabriel Jesus scored and had it ruled off for offside. Second half, Gabriel had a header wide, which he should have scored. He just misjudged the distance between himself and the post there. And we had another chance with Martin Odegaard running through the middle, a bit like Jurriën Timber, where he ran through the middle in the first half, but it didn't produce a goal. And then Rice had a lovely volley from a corner, saved by Muric in the Ipswich goal. And then Arsenal, for me, they should have had a penalty. Delap, he brought down Gabriel, but VAR and the referee said no, but it should have been a pen. He completely put two arms around him and planted him on the floor. I think the refs were being very, very kind there. But man of the match for that game against Ipswich, for me, it's got to be Miles Lewis-Skelly. I thought offensively and defensively, Miles Lewis-Skelly was sublime in this game. He completed all but one of his passes. He won 9 duels, made 3 tackles, won 3 fouls, and made 3 entries into the final third, and completed 2 take-ons. He created 2 chances and made 2 clearances. And this is a young man who is an absolute asset to this Arsenal side at the moment. Left back, we've got a plethora of them. We've got so many of them. Some of them are established international players, and one of them even is a brand new signing, which you'd think would be the manager's choice. But Lewis Skelly has come in and said, don't care who you are, don't care how much you cost. I'm playing left back and I'm staying at it, and you've got to take the shirt away from me. And I think he's been absolutely brilliant, Lewis Skelly. So that's why I picked him for man of the match versus Ipswich. But yes, the game after that, the first one of the new year, Brentford away, and Arsenal come back from a goal down to win this game. And it was a brilliant result given the circumstances. Obviously, we had to change the lineup slightly with Rice and Lewis Skelly being put on the bench, and Havertz and Trossard making way for Partey, Calafiori and Moreno, and then Wary getting his first start out there in the wide position, something that I didn't think would happen. I'll put my hands up and say I'm prone to making silly comments, silly thoughts. This was one of them. I did not think that Ethan Nwaneri would be deployed out wide for Arsenal anytime soon. But yeah, he was here, and yeah, we'll touch on it a bit. But what a performance from him. But yeah, Brentford, they went ahead after Odegaard sloppily gave the ball away, and Mbeumo is then played through. And Calafiori, for me, he makes no attempt to block him or show him away, and he makes it 1-0. David Raya arguably could have done better there also, but Calafiori, for me, I get a lot of people saying I got a lot of hate for Calafiori. I don't hate him. What I hate about him is his defensive capabilities at the moment. I know that he's come from a different league. I know that he's had injuries and injury problems and he's recovering from them, but these are very, very basic mistakes that he's making. And you're not seeing Lewis Skelly, who's a kid, younger than him, making these same mistakes. So that's why I hold Calafiori of a higher standard when it comes to the defensive mistakes that he's making. But David Raya, after that, he had another sticky moment where he parries a shot and it nearly goes in, but he makes a David Seaman versus Sheffield United-esque clawing save to keep it 1-0 and stop any further damage. And that moment it seemingly turned the game for Arsenal as we equalised quite shortly after that. And Thomas Partey, he had a shot which Flecken bounces into Gabriel Jesus, who instinctively finishes with a diving header. And it's brilliant awareness and positioning, again, from Jesus, like I said a minute ago. And the resurgence and thinking and operating more like a striker, this is what you want from him. And this is why he's bagging the goals. Long may it continue, because with Bukayo Saka out, we need as many goals and assists from different people as we can get. And yeah, I'm glad that Jesus is doing the job. The second goal, it comes from a set piece situation again. The ball's bouncing and pinballing about in the box, and it lands to Mikel Moreno, who smashes it home. And it's great for him to score again. And a lot's been said regarding his game, but I think this box crashing and more goals, which Mikel Arteta talked about, and I think was one of the reasons why he was purchased, is slowly coming to fruition. And I think once Moreno's a bit more composed on the ball and a bit more reacclimatized to the English game, I think we'll see a promising addition to the Arsenal side bloom here. I, I I just think he sometimes he's a bit too slow and he isn't as good on the ball as what I want him to be, what you expect and what you want from someone in that Arsenal midfield. But the other side of his game is slowly coming in. And funny enough, I think he's won the most duels of any midfielder in Europe this season now, or in the top 5 leagues at least. He's doing really, really well on that front. And I think he won the most duels or one possession back high up more than any other player in the league this season in this game against Brentford. So, yeah, that's something that Mikel Arteta wants and obviously really, really likes. But yeah, the third goal comes from a great Namreri cross, which is headed back into Martinelli, who takes a touch and then volleys it into the back of the net. And yeah, it was a lovely goal, and it was a really, really nice celebration from him also. And Martinelli needs the goals as well. Like I said, with Saka being absent, we need goals and assists from anywhere we can get it. So Martinelli really needs to step up. And yeah, I'm glad that he's got another goal for us. But yes, man of the match for the Brentford versus Arsenal game, I gave it to Ethan Nwaneri. He wasn't in his natural position, but in 78 minutes, he had 100% on his passing. He had 4 touches in their box. He created 2 chances, which obviously led to goals. And I just thought overall he was incredible for a kid in his first start in the Premier League to play like that, to play completely unfazed and unfrightened at Brentford, who had one of the best home records in the league. Obviously, I think they've only lost to us and Nottingham Forest this season. It was a brilliant, brilliant performance from him. And big shout out to Thomas Partey as well. I thought Thomas Partey deserved his flowers. He was arguably one of our best players on the day as well. I thought he was brilliant. But yeah, going into the next game, obviously we've got Brighton tomorrow afternoon, and I always put a lineup up on Twitter, but I thought I'd do an exclusive and put the lineup in the show here just quickly, and I'll flash it up on the screen now. So for me, I'm going to go with David Raya in goal. Thomas Partey's going to play at right back because Jurriën Timber has got the ban now, so he's going to be in there. We've got Saliba, Gabriel, and Skelly. That obviously picks itself. Then I've done Declan Rice, Odegaard, and Kai Havertz in the midfield. I feel even though Moreno had a great game against Brentford and done exactly what Mikel Arteta would have wanted, plus getting a goal, I still think he's going to recall Kai Havertz into that midfield because of the additional goal threat compared to what Moreno offers us. And then up top, I'm going to stick with Nwaneri and Martinelli and Jesus. Now, I know that Nwaneri might not be as defensively a protector with Partey behind him, but I think he's going to stick with it. I think he's going to go for it. I know a lot of people said that they think Martinelli might play right and he will actually put Trossard on the left because Martinelli can protect Partey better. But no, I think he's going to back the kid. I think he's going to keep Nwaneri in there. So That's what I believe is going to happen here. And we just got a comment here from Michael. Hey, thanks, Michael. And yes, yeah, I think Ethan's going to be kept. I do. I think he's going to keep Ethan in there tomorrow. But yeah, that's it from me. I thought I'd keep it nice and short and sweet. Just want to say thank you to everybody who come on last year onto the show, to anyone who watched, to everyone that liked, that commented, everybody over on the TikTok, which has slowly started to grow. And just a big thank you to obviously the Purely Arsenal for still having me on. I love going on there and speaking with them. Michael, yourself on Arsenal Above All. I love going on there speaking with you. Same Old Arsenal, Albert JTV, Highbury Squad. Yeah, all these great people and podcasts have had me on over the last year, and I wouldn't have anything here if it wasn't for those people from that podcasts giving me a platform to speak to all of you. So yeah, that's it from me. Like I said, short and sweet. Just wanted to catch up with everything, and then the next time we'll be back. We'll be back with the usual format with other people, and we can have a bit more of a lengthy conversation. But yes, thank you very much, everybody. Take care and enjoy the game tomorrow. And also, just before I play the outro, the music is from my brother, L One Stone. One Stone, give him a follow. Listen to his music, Spotify, YouTube, probably Apple Music, all of them. Just yeah, the link for him is in the bio. Give him a listen. He's got some new stuff coming out soon, which you will enjoy if you enjoy this one. So take care, everybody. Muchas gracias, and I'll see you soon.